like to have side reasons for why I make things on this platform. Maybe I'm streaming something to help myself better articulate why I like something, or I'm trying to encourage others to share their creativity. I might make a video to explore a fun mechanic brought into another game, or try to take the idea behind a character and push it further than it has ever gone before. This one though, I just really like Adeline. Kirby 64 was an extremely formative game for me, to a point that my mental image of the canon Kirby squad is always going to be this one. Sorry Meta Knight, nothing personal, it just feels weird to see you alongside the others. You're just better suited to doing your own thing. Characters speaking with instruments is still the best way this universe has ever shown them communicating. Dedede is a great reluctant protector, pre-Bandana D is the perfect sidekick, and Adeline is the best supporting character. I love this girl. The epitome of a, if anything happened to this character, I would kill everyone and then myself meme. I think she is the closest thing I ever want to have to an adopted daughter. Her design is criminally adorable. She possesses what I would argue is the coolest magical ability in fiction, drawing things to life. And the fact that she's the only human that's ever been in the Kirby series, when humanity clearly has some weird shit going on in Kirby lore, is absolutely fascinating. Is her ability just some fun little quirk like everyone else's? Or has humanity evolved to the point that they can create and bend matter to their will? I don't know, because she only ever comes back in cameos, which is very frustrating given that the series keeps making characters that do the same thing as her when that character could just be her. Stop it! My child is not receiving the opportunity she deserves, and so help me, I will be a PTA Karen over this. Bring her back more. Here's the 4 stages of how that should happen. Stage 1 of Adeline inclusivity, bare minimum, is just having her drawings around. Come on. A picture in Kirby's house is all I ask for. Just one little picture that she's drawn of all his friends over the years. It'd be a great way of showing the series' growth. Stage 2. Many Kirby games have ways to showcase various bits of concept art that were made during the game's development, using puzzle pieces that slowly show a full picture. A ridiculous, inferior option, as the obvious and most interesting choice is just to tie this mechanic to Adeline. Have a little corner of Waddle Dee Town where she's set up and she'll show Kirby her drawings, which are just the concept art of the game. Maybe even instead of puzzle pieces, Kirby collects paint for her to use to draw these, to still have that collectible aspect intact. Instead of revealing pieces, the player gets to watch it slowly be drawn from start to finish. The art already exists, might as well show it off. Stage 3, just give her back her old role of giving Kirby items and showing clues to puzzles. And to be fair, this doesn't have to be her. I'd be happy with any character. With the most recent Switch games, I've really missed those little moments of having a room in the game dedicated to one of Kirby's friends going, "Hey, you're doing great! Here's something to help you out." It's cute, it's thematic, I like it. Maybe have her set up every now and then, where Kirby can talk to her and she'll paint whichever power-up the player wants to use. That'd be a great way to have that kind of player freedom to choose how they move forward, and in fact could create some new room for game design, where puzzles could be designed around quickly swapping between many different powers, using Adeline to enable that. But those are all consolation prizes. What I really want is Stage 4, which would be some kind of story integration. And that's harder to talk about, as I don't really understand what's going on with humans in Kirby. They seem to be either dead, to have evolved into current Kirby critters, or have transcended existence into some higher plane. But I haven't dived far enough down that rabbit hole. I don't even know if that information exists. Regardless of how, I do think it would be very fun to explore. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, give Dedede a break and have her be the one that gets brainwashed for once. Her prior boss fights are jokes, but taking the concept of drawing things to life and using that for nefarious purposes could result in a really fun oppositional force. She could literally mass produce her own army. Imagine a boss fight that starts as a simple creature, but she keeps painting new appendages onto it, going from a lion to a manticore to a chimera, or some eldritch abomination where all her creations are starting to bleed and fuse together as she starts frantically drawing more and more into some Kefka tower kind of deal. And this doesn't have to revolve around her. The role doesn't have to be that big. It could be as simple as having a small side story thing where a villain took interest in her because, oh, a human, it's been a while since this resource has been available, we must exploit it at once, and use her rescue to drop a few breadcrumbs about this nugget of Kirby lore. I don't know, just give me something. There's clearly something to work with here, and it drives me insane when I can see that and it's repeatedly not being used. But irregardless of how, I truly believe that Adeline is the best character to bake into the recurring cast of Kirby games. Plenty of others would work, don't get me wrong, but they all run into one issue or another. Some are too powerful, their personalities too strong, their presence would demand a larger role in whatever game they appeared in, outside of Star Allies' cameo setting that leveled the playing field. It's hard to include many characters like that, as they would be directly competing with Meta Knight and Dedede, who are usually filling that sort of role. Others could be great supporting characters, but they have goals or themes that wouldn't really fit with every game. I can't see them constantly showing up because they have other things to do, or conflicts that I can't see them ignoring to travel with Kirby. And some have had their roles outright overshadowed by other characters. But Adeline is in a perfect sweet spot. She's ideally suited to serve a supporting role helping Kirby in ways that Bandana D has evolved out of due to now being Kirby's player too. But she's not so commanding of a character that setting and story would have to bend to include her. She doesn't need to steal any spotlight from the traditional characters by always being around. Her niche is untouched, and she fills it the best. But if the series did occasionally give her more important roles than that niche, it could lead to some really fascinating explorations of Kirby's lore. And just, look, I really like Adeline. Please bring her back more. It would make me happy.